In today's video, we're going to feature something very special, the Squier Jazzmaster Baritone. Now, this is the most brutal Fender that I have ever played. It's the most heavy metal focused, the most aggressive sounding, probably one of the coolest Fenders as well, because it's quite notorious as well for selling for silly prices on the used market, which I think is quite unreasonable for a guitar like this. But let's hear how it sounds. So I've got the Fender Baritone here. I've got no idea what kind of pickups are in here. They say Duncan designed. It could be a type of P90 or something. But I'll be running this through my valve state first, and then my Engel Fireball, both going through the new Marshall MF400 cab. And just as a side note, I will be doing a comparison between this Marshall cabinet and the Blackstar cabinet behind me soon. But yeah, let's hear how this guitar sounds. Some first impressions. With most Fenders, I hate the shape. I don't like the look of the headstock. I think the controls are too close to the hand. The bridge is quite bad, and it only has 21 frets. I don't think the pickups are magnificent, but they do the job. There's no reason for this to have a tone control, and the tuners are stupid. And it's a type that's similar to a bass guitar where you have to cut off a part of the string and then thread it through the hole, then angle it and then twist, rather than just a straight through kind of design. But the things that I like, obviously the tone is massive. I like the neck feel, it's very, very comfortable and quite easy to adapt to, especially with these big bar chords. And it's not too much of a stretch for the hand. It might be a bit difficult for people with smaller hands than mine, but it's not too difficult to adapt from a regular 6-string with a regular scale length to this baritone. Another thing I don't like is the placement of the input jack, because I like to use angled. I don't like how this is in the body. I'd much rather it be on the side, just a bit more out of the way, because when I'm sitting down, the lead is just kind of just there. Not 100% to my liking, but the best thing about this is the tone you get from the actual guitar. It sounds very aggressive, very metallic. It's got this attack to the notes. For that single note stuff, it's quite articulate. though this guitar's in B and it's got really thick strings, it kind of plays like a guitar in E with kind of fat strings as well, so it's quite easy to get used to as well. You do need to push a little bit on the strings. This is a set of 13s to 62s on here from D'Addario, and it does the job really well. I think it sounds really clean. It's quite tight for the single note stuff. The chord clarity is quite good, and even when you're playing like the dyad black metal stuff, you know, it's good but not great. It could be something to do with the amp, and that's what we're going to try now. I'm going to plug into my Engel Firewall and we're going to hear how this sounds through that. And now I've plugged it into my Engel Firewall, and damn, this sounds good. Yeah, so this guitar sounds very, very aggressive, even just through a head and cab. You know, despite appearances, this is one devastating sounding guitar, and I think with a few upgrades could be made to be even more brutal. Of course, you could run this through boosted amps and your Kemper profiles and whatever plugins you have. It's still a fun experience to listen to one of these things in the room with a giant cabinet blaring behind you, and it's a very, very cool sounding guitar. Not my favorite guitar ever or in the world, but this is one of the coolest, but definitely the most brutal, most metal, most aggressive Fender that I've seen. You know, I reckon if Fender did something like this and put like a set of Fishmans in it and had a few upgrades and just made it a bit more metal and a bit more brutal, this could be one hell of a sounding guitar. It already sounds amazing, but it could sound even better. So this has been the Jazzmaster Baritone. Hope you enjoyed watching. If there's any gear that you want to see featured, please leave a comment below in the description. If I don't have it, I'll find a way to feature it on the channel. Thanks for watching.